Hey everybody, Dylan Reich here. Happy to be with you. Thanks for joining me for a minute. I got a little thought of the day I wanted to talk with you guys about. I want to talk about songwriting, which, if any of you guys know me, is one of my most favorite things ever to talk about. And today I want to talk about something that I think of as a very important and fundamental, like foundational level skill that I think is sometimes overlooked. And I know when dealing with students, this is often a big missing piece. Okay. And it's something that I think sometimes people may not even think of this as a skill, right? So that's why I wanted to talk about it. And I'm talking about the skill of letting yourself write. To write without judgment is another way I sometimes say it. Can you take a blank page, literal or otherwise, and just put something on it? And there's no wrong answer. Just something. And then take another page, do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. That's the skill. There's no wrong answer, right? I want you to think about like the average 3-year-old kid painting a picture, okay? They don't care what type of paint they're using, what brand the brush is. They don't care if it's in proportion, if it's to scale, if they're using the right techniques, if the light and shadow are, coherent in their image. They don't care. They don't know what any of that means. They don't care. They also are not thinking, geez, I'm really untrained at this. Is this going to be any good? What if it's not good? What are people going to say? Who's going to look at this? What are they going to think of it? What are they going to think of me? What am I going to think of myself? Oh my God, should I even be doing this? They don't do any of that. They also don't spend time scheduling time to paint, thinking one day they should paint, making a checklist of things they're going to need before they start painting, etc., etc. They don't do any of that stuff. But do you know what they can do very well? Paint. There's minimal friction between them and actually just doing the thing, right? They can just show up, do the thing. That's the skill I'm talking about. Sometimes people get so concerned with, is it good, that they don't let themselves even do it, right? They don't let themselves, they're so worried, is the song going to be good, they don't let themselves write it. You can't write a good song, whatever that means to you, if we don't let ourselves write in the first place, right? So this is what I mean by the skill. Can we just write stuff, right? So what that kid is doing might seem very basic, but this is a real habit you can build, right? It's the skill of showing up, getting started, allowing yourself to create, using whatever you've got, might not be much, and finding great joy in this process, regardless of the outcome, right? It's not attached to the outcome. It's fun to paint no matter what the painting is, right? That is actually scalable. Okay, it might not seem like it, but whether you're this little kid or whether we have 25 years experience, let's imagine we're 25 years into our journey, we have all this knowledge, skill, experience. We still have to show up, get started, allow ourselves to create, use what we've got. In this case, we've actually got more stuff we could use, but we still got to use some of it and find great joy in the journey and the process, right? This is scalable. Okay, that's the skill I'm talking about. Now, this is something that quite early on emerged to me as a key indicator, right? If I ever had a student that had this skill, that ended up typically being someone that could advance very quickly And likewise, if I had a student that did not have this skill, that was also an indicator to me that nothing much else I say is going to make that much difference unless we're also working on this, right? So if I have a student that would show up and would just literally just say, I wrote this, I wrote this, I wrote this, I wrote this, I tried it with this melody, I tried 4 different melodies, I like this one better, and then I da 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 da. It doesn't matter what any of that was or what any of it sounded like. The skill of they just did stuff is what I'm really talking about. That is a key difference that I see from people that make great advancements, because they're in motion, right? It's like a car. Once the car is moving, you can steer it places, right? We can go forwards, we can go left, we can go right. If we go too far left, we can come back. If we go too far this way, we can come back. If we need to back up, we can, because we're in motion. If the car is stopped, then we can steer all day long. Nothing's going to happen, right? Because there is no motion. Okay. So when someone has this motion, like they have this habit of show up, write stuff, show up, write stuff, show up, write stuff. And this just becomes the most normal thing in the world, right? It's not daunting. It's not scary. It's them just doing the same thing they do all the time. Show up, write stuff, show up, write stuff. Then when you teach them something new, some new knowledge, or let's say a new chord, we can talk about this chord, and then they can immediately take it and just drop it into their process. Okay, what if I put it in this song? What if I put that chord over here? What if I try it in this context? What if I try it in that context? What about after a G chord? No, don't like that. What about after A? Don't like it. What about after B flat? Hey, that's pretty good. Okay, where can I get from there? C? No, don't like it. Da, 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 da. But like, because they're in motion, they are learning and building these connections. And it is ear training, right? They're learning how all these different sounds interact with each other. And it's like you're slowly like chiseling away at getting closer to your taste and your own voice, right? When you're putting in all these reps, you are allowing yourself to feel what it is like to write, right? To dream, to wonder, to feel curious, to have a sense of adventure, to take a chance, to hear the result, to feel something, to have an opinion, make a decision, make an adjustment, form these connections, and just generate this feedback. And if we are not writing, we're kind of depriving ourselves of generating all that feedback and gaining all of that experience. You know, in the course of writing any one song, you probably make 1,000 little micro decisions like that along the way, right? So I know that people like to say sometimes they prefer quality over quantity. You know, you'll hear people say that. I can certainly appreciate, I think, what they mean or why someone would say that. But in my experience, the quantity is how you get to the quality, right? Getting that feedback, getting that experience, building those habits, which ultimately builds your skill and your knowledge, and you have more stuff you can use, and you rinse and repeat, right? It's kind of like, you know, how the iPhone or operating systems or whatever, they iterate over time, right? They don't, no one sits around trying to just have it fully formed day one. It's like they just do it the best they can, and then they get feedback. There's this bug, let's fix it. There's that bug, let's fix it. There's these things don't work, let's fix it. It's not compatible with this. All right, we'll fix it. It's not compatible with that. Okay, well, version 1.8, whatever. People are doing this weird workaround to try to make this function happen. Okay, well, let's put that in. People are using this third party because they do it better. Okay, well, let's put that into our native OS, whatever, and they just keep trying to make it better and better over time because they're getting feedback and they're getting information, and that helps lift the whole thing up. So sometimes when I have students, because I've had many countless songwriting students over the years, and sometimes they're surprised when I bring this up because I think they're expecting like tips and tricks, and the circle of fifths and stuff like that. But sometimes I end up doing exercises where my focus is I want you to practice writing without judgment. So sometimes even calling something an exercise helps because it can disconnect you from, we're not writing a song, and we're certainly not writing a good song, right? So I just get that off the table. That's not even relevant to what we're doing. And we'll do things like we're reframing how we judge success, right? The version of success for this exercise is, did we write something? And if we did, ding, success, right? It's like a test where every answer you give is correct. You cannot be wrong. The skill is, can you just keep coming up with answers, right? That's the skill we're trying to build. So sometimes you'll see people start off kind of tentative, like, bum, bum, ding, we did it. You wrote something. Do it again. Pom, pom, pom. Yes, we did it. Go again. Do-do-do-do-do. Yes, keep going. And it's like trying to get someone comfortable. And sometimes you see it can happen actually very fast, that once you kind of disconnect somebody from that attachment to the outcome, you'll see them start to take chances that maybe they would not have taken and try things they would not have tried. And most importantly, smiling when they're doing it, just trying things. And I know this is not the whole story. There is a time and a place where we'll bring in, notes in the key and some of that other stuff. But this is more about just getting comfortable with what does it feel like to write and to create and to, build a kind of safe space for yourself where you can say the craziest thought in your head, you can dream, you can fall over 5 times in a row. It's all good, right? If you can build this kind of space, then we can build some of the knowledge and harmony and theory and all that stuff on top of it. But for some people, they actually have a lot of knowledge, and this seems like it's the missing piece. They don't let themselves do it, use it, right? So that's sometimes what we need to practice. So that's my kind of thought of the day. So a couple questions I have for you is, first of all, is this something you've ever thought about before, right? Have you ever considered this a skill? Because it's something you can practice and a habit you can build. And is this something you find very easy? Or is this something that you struggle with? And if it's something that you've struggled with and overcome, what kind of things have you done to help get you there? Because maybe we can all learn something from each other. So there you go. Writing without judgment is my thought of the day. I'm Dylan Reich. Catch you in the next video.